great job. Maud Chiselbone, which was the name of the sea hag that you encountered, as well as her pet Will-O-Wisp and her subjugary, I guess you could say, maybe a pet. You could go either way. Giant frozen frost giant skeleton. Really should have done a lot to you guys, and they did, but you managed to pull it off. And so now you find yourselves in these caves. Maud, before she disappeared, and because some checks were rolled, said that she would honor her agreement, and thanks to you guys for providing her with some much-needed entertainment, would leave you a treasure come midnight at the mouth of the caves along the shoreline. So you also discovered that there is I don't have it written in front of me right now, but basically a cauldron of like sustenance that's in front of you that can provide one solid meal to up to 300, 320, something like that, people, per day. And in the world that you live in right now, this is something of immense value, no matter where it could go to, and could probably fetch quite a high price. I'm talking like thousands of gold, not just like hundreds at this point, if not more. And the other thing that you guys kind of discussed briefly as you were thinking about this, because I know you had said like we should send it to the inn. I don't know if it was me or somebody else said that like maybe it should go to somebody else to regulate, whatever. You guys also had said that you wanted to potentially explore the rest of the caves because you had some time to kill. And so I think that what we might want to deal with first is Rothgar, you have gone through your death saves and you're back, which means you're at approximately like 1 hit right now, correct? Or did we heal you already?
I got healing.
Somebody provided you healing?
Yes.
All right, cool. All right. Because interestingly, a pterodactyl swoops in. No, I'm kidding. So you guys are in this room. Some of you are a little better off than others, or much better off than others, depending upon how that fight treated you. What do you guys want to do?
Well, I got healing, but I'm still hurting, so. But
I had
half.
I know we were talking about resting up, taking a little bit of a breather, maybe waiting until midnight anyway. So it's something where it's like, well, we're going to be here.
Yeah, I was going to say that if you guys wanted to, you definitely could enact a short rest. The room that you're in around the cauldron itself has like a fire underneath it, and although the cauldron is clearly cooking man flesh at the moment, it's also providing some heat and some warmth. So like if you wanted to rest and have like a place of some level of comfortability before doing anything else, you absolutely could do that. Use your what is it? You can use your hit die, however many you want to do. You can do that to try to get yourselves back to like wherever you want to be.
And I can add in some healing with the short rest as well.
That's right. Also, if you want to use your jaguar abilities, because I happened to go back and saw the meme that you put about moves like a jaguar, and I laughed. I did laugh about that. So, but yeah, I had a chance to talk briefly with Kevin earlier because there were some things I wanted to go over about like some stuff and things that had been found or that had happened. And I just wanted to say to you guys out loud, that was an incredible fight. Like I didn't know how it was going to go, and you got the fact that nobody ran out to find the noise and then like kite the frost giant skeleton. You like the two frontline fighters were just like, we're going to stand here and go toe to toe with this thing. And when it started swinging that axe, I'm like, oh my god! Not to mention you had a hag. Now, sea hags aren't the most powerful, but this one did have like some lair actions, which was pretty cool. And like this Will-O-Wisp, there was some shit going down. And I told Kevin that if if like the death blow hadn't come at the sea hag when it did, the will-o-wisp had an ability to basically like suck life out of someone who was dead or was making death saves to the point that they give someone 2 failed saves, and it was going to go to Hrothgar and kill Hrothgar. I didn't want to kill another one of Chris's characters, but I was going to do it. But when all of a sudden the axe was coming down, I had to enact an ability that I was like, I'm never going to use this in the fight. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, no, the will-o-wisp is about to die. And so you guys, thank you for like giving like this. That was an amazing like just fight. Like I thought that was super cool, super fun. Like as the DM, you guys kept me on my toes with the shit you were doing. So it was pretty cool. I was very impressed. So that was a lot of fun. But now it's another night. It's another night of adventure. So I want to try to murder you again. So what do you do? Take your time. Let me know how much. Like if you want to rest. I think the rule is you have to rest for a minimum of like an hour for a short rest. So take your short rest. Roll your hit die, whatever you want to do, whatever abilities you want to use to do that, and then let me know when you're good to go and where you want to go, and we'll go from there. So yeah, I'm gonna run to the fridge and grab a tea, and I will be right back.
So you guys can get 6 extra hit points if you use a die.
Yeah, if you rest.
Which at 8 hit points, yeah, I'm going to rest.
Yeah, I'm not at 8. I'm at more than that, so I'll take the 1 hit die away, and I'm healed.
Novakri, does the Song of Rest grant everybody an additional 6, or how does that? Or is that just you?
No, that's everybody who takes who expends hit die.
Wow, is that a bard ability?
Yep.
Like as much as I don't want to like bards, I have to like bards. I just do. They offer a lot.
Just you only notice it as it's happening, like over the course of time.
Well, I think that in any of the games we have played, the vicious mockery is one of those like save or suck kind of like moments where it's either amazing or it's like nothing happens, and it just goes along with like the whole bard. Like the bards just seem to have this like ability where like when they step up and they have it and it's amazing, everyone's like, you are awesome, and then when it's not working out, it's just like, what are you even doing here? Like I don't even understand. So it's crazy. But I also wanted to note one thing, and that is when you guys handled the Dwergar that were on Dwergar, however you say it, that were on the boat, you found a map, and the map had a couple additional things marked on it. One was the Dwergar Citadel, which we had marked on the map, and there was an additional location that was only marked in Dwarven. Well, it was all marked in Dwarven, but that was specifically notated that Hrothgar saw. And Hrothgar, I don't know if you know what it means or not. What do you have for like knowledges? Do you have like any knowledge like a history or like, do you have anything do you think that like maybe intelligence or something, like what is a skill that you think would give you something of knowledge of antiquity?
Yeah, I don't think I have anything.
All right. In that case, give me a straight up intelligence roll. Yeah. So with a 9, you're not sure. It looks like the wording is in Dwarven, and you can read Dwarven, but it's kind of like. Go ahead, say it again. Sorry.
Yes, I can.
Yeah. No. So I'm saying like it's in Dwarven, but it's like it's like if you know English but you try to read like old or middle English, you're like, I don't like I know what I'm looking at, but I don't know what they're trying to say here. And you basically get the feeling that it's that the words that are making this that are indicating this area on the map seem to be saying like old and magic, but you can't really figure out anything else that says it. And just to give you a little bit more like to give everybody like a little bit more like concept that goes with this. I'm just gonna drag everybody over to the Icewind Dale map for just a moment and put you guys right here. And shift click. Everybody see where I'm clicking?
Yep.
All right. So there's an area on the map that Rothgar, if you want to bring this up, like there was no way to do this and not do this for everybody. You know what? I take that back. There probably was, but this is how I'm doing it. There's an area on the map that clearly is indicated that has these like words on it that you can't quite figure out, and that the citadel that must be where the Dwergar said like there was all that talk about like like a dragon heart and all these other things is down here. Yeah, down here. So like I know we're in the middle of a cave. Everyone's resting. If this is anything you want to talk to anybody about, or anybody wants to look at the map, I just want to say the map was relevant. It was here, and there was an additional thing that you had found, but that you're not entirely sure of what that means.
Would you call Navakri over to say, "Hey, this is arcane. Take a look."
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I was saying, is this something you would say, "Hey, Navakri, this is arcane. Looking, take a look."
Yeah, I can bring it to your attention because I ain't getting heads or tails out of it.
Okay, Novakri, I know that you don't speak Dwarven, or I feel that you don't speak Dwarven, but if you, oh Jesus, yeah, I was going to say roll an Arcana check. So what you do notice is a word that comes out, and the word that you see is Netheril, 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 and Netheril sends like, whether it's your second self, like your second mind, or maybe it's like research and studies that you've done yourself. It kind of sends like the hairs on the back of your neck standing up, not like in an evil way, but just like the mention of like raw magic. And so Netheril was to break it down really simply, was like a kingdom of magic users that predates the world you're living in by like 1,000+ years. And these people were effectively massively powerful mages and archmages, and they flew around the world and they ruled the world by these floating spires and cities. And basically they were everything that wasn't Netheril or Netherese were subjugated by them. That's how powerful this race was. But as all things, those that are on top eventually must topple by one way or another, and that's what happened. But
am I remembering correctly that they were pretty hefty into necromancy? I know that they Thasians pretty much inherited all that stuff, but the Netheril were pretty big necromancers.
They were far more interested in shadow magics than they were in necromancy. But they I mean, all magic. There was no magic that was off the table for the Netherese. But I think what you might be thinking is the Wizards of Fey. The Wizards of Fey are far more intrigued or interested in the necromantic arts than most other like sort of magic schools that are in the world that you live in right now. But the Netherese were very interested in trying to capitulate the powers of shadow and the shadow magics to their will, And unfortunately, that brought about the emergence of, I think they were called the Pharazim or the Pharazi. Basically, it was this whole other race that showed up, and their sole purpose was to destroy the Nether race. And they were just these monstrously powerful creatures that once the magics the Nether race possessed were gone, they were like, oh, there's nothing to feed on anymore, and they just took off. Which was fortunate for the rest of the world to, like, kind of reemerge. But that's kind of what happened. But you, Novakri, know that this is indicating that there is something of Netherese origin, or maybe even like some sort of Netherese structure here on the map, where right there where I was just indicating, and it's clearly marked in the Dwergar language as far as saying like old magic here kind of thing.
Is this something we could get like a rubbing off of, or is it just pretty much a paper?
So the map that you guys got from that ship with the Dwergar is the map you guys are looking at right now. It just happened to have 2 additional locations marked on it that you didn't know about. One of them is this this sort of like Netherese indicated mark there, and the other is down here, the Sunblight Citadel. Which means you guys also have like, as you're resting and trying to, like, regain hit points and do whatever, and you guys go about it, do it. I'm just giving you some of like the sort of chatter that you guys have to discuss. So like top 3 things to talk about right now. 1, what do you want to do with this cauldron that feeds lots of people? That's 1. 2, what do you want to do next? And then the sort of like sub bullet points that go along with that are, there's a shit ton of stuff out there right now that you guys have as sort of mission / side quests. So Loki, you've been tasked with finding and dealing with the darkness that's coming from underneath. That it seems to be becoming clear that darkness is referring to these like underdark dwarves, or these Dwergar that are showing up and causing havoc. One of the things that you've kind of become like knowledgeable about is that for some reason they're chasing this weird material called charladrin or chaldrin. You're not 100%, but like there's that. Ziada, you know that like you've got a ticking time bomb of a clock going on right now, where you've got to go try to save the Bear Clan from themselves? ?
We'll see what happens.
You know that there's. Yeah, Novakri, you know that you're having weird dreams and like sequences concerning, other like ESP or like psychic people that are saying that it's coming from like the foothills down here. Rothgar, you've got some sort of weird like maybe date / romantic relationship with like a crazy lady that wants to take you to show you Jarlmut, or like where the Frost Giant Kings used to live. That's weird. I don't know if that's an exact mission. And then most of all, there's still like this whole, evil deity that's got the whole place locked in ice, so you can't do anything besides be stuck here in ice to deal with. So there's a lot of weird shit going on, just saying. So these are things to talk about.
My vote is we go ahead and still send the cauldron to Lonelywood.
Yeah, we might have to maybe beef up security and get some sort of thing where people wouldn't know that the cauldron is in our possession at that point over there. If anyone has any thoughts on that, because I think once we start, providing meals and everything like that, if people start putting 2 and 2 together, let's have some protection and that sort of thing if we can.
I will also say that one of the things to consider is just how you plan to get the cauldron, because the cauldron's pretty big. Like, the cauldron could be easily like dragged on a pallet by one of your axe beaks while you're riding it. Like, that's not a problem. But it's going to be hard to not notice you guys traveling with a cauldron from where you are back to Lonelywood.
Tensors.
Or Tensor's disc, yes. Whatever. Like, whatever you want to do with it.
Well, with that, we could kind of handle terrain a little bit more easily if we wanted to kind of stay. I don't know if necessarily stay away from cities, but just kind of hide.
Oh yeah,
off
no,
to
no.
the side
I'm
or
just saying.
anything.
I'm just saying. So where
No,
you guys?
I know. I'm just saying that because of since TJ was saying it, it's like that's a good point because maybe this and this and this.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. I was just saying that where you guys are now becoming a very noticeable / known group. If all of a sudden the group is traveling on the main thoroughfares between cities, carrying a giant cauldron, someone may notice that and talk about it. And if they're talking about it, and then other rumors about like perma food start getting mentioned, that the questions, concerns, etc., security, as you mentioned, may become a real thing. That's all.
Yep. So what are people's thoughts on that? Anything in particular?
We can keep the cauldron, and we can get Loki to 200 pounds, and the only way he can move is on Tensor's disc. Could happen. I don't know why that was the first thought, but it was.
So has everybody seen the first Blade movie when like the super fat vampire librarian? I just immediately thought that's what Loki would turn into at 200 pounds.
Earl.
Yes, Earl. Yep.
Earl.
Oh, Merle. That's right.
No, P. Pearl.
Oh, Pearl. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember it that well. Sorry.
It's gross, but it's funny.
Well, we were talking about, feeding armies as well, potentially, but we'll have to
That's
figure
right.
it out.
We were thinking of like recruiting people and then being able to just wander with 300 people, at that point. And it's just like,
Come with us, you get food. Oh,
Right.
that sounds good.
Well, that cauldron could feed pretty much literally half of 10 towns.
Right. Yeah, we can just keep going.
right, just take the whole thing, everything, everyone. Come
We
on.
save money on rations.
Yeah.
We go to a town, we come with food. Yeah.
I mean, it might just be best in our hands. Because then we have it. And then we can protect it.
There's that.
Yeah, but carrying...
Yeah. I guess. It could be a pain, but, summoning Tensor's disc all the time. We did that with Coswall.
Yeah, so it might be still worth it.
It's, as I will also say, and you guys kind of pointed this out as well, is that if it becomes known that you guys are walking around with a perma source of food, and then have it like an army that's walking with you, you will potentially gain like the attention or eye of many of like the larger forces that are going on. Where you guys have, so far managed to kind of slip under the radar. If you're going to start walking around with a powerful magical item and a large group with you, other things are going to start taking notice of you, or potentially going to start taking notice of you, I should say.
Oh, at that
If we
point,
were, if we were experience based, we could just let everyone know, and then the challenges come to us.
yeah. Just set up traps. And then
Fight
just
through our
like
minions first.
leave them with one. Leave them bloodied.
Right.
leave them very hurt, and let them get to us, and then we just finish them off and just get stronger.
Exactly. Perfect.
I imagine like after the first time when like the 300 followers, there's like 10 left, and you're recruiting, and you're like, but look, 10 survived. Those 10 could be you, and the stronger we get, could be like 20 the next time. And the locals are just like, it's that dude from what was the mead hall from Good Mead that's just like,
Gary
yeah, no,
or
I think
something
they
like
made,
that.
Gary, just like, they made good points. We should probably go with them. Just kind of thing.
Yeah, I it's funny because all I can think of right now is what's it called, that movie where it's like Darkness Rising, and it's like just all the metagaming, and it's like, well, if we let everyone die and then we get all the experience because they're NPCs, and who else is the experience going to? Anyway, so real talk. Yeah, I think it's kind of, we could go either way with that. We could go kind of keep it and kind of recruit people as we move along, or we could, just kind of drop it off and then see where that goes. Hopefully it doesn't create an issue, sort of thing. That's my only worry, really.
This is probably Lockwood talking and not Novakri, but maybe setting up a soup kitchen would really earn us some brownie points.
Well, that's what I suggested the last time.
All right, so
Yeah,
who are
we
we trying to
can
earn
do that
brownie points
anywhere
with,
we
though?
go.
Everybody.
Yeah, but who and for what? Because we seem to have a ton of brownie points. I'm just saying. I'm not against this. It's just there seem to be a lot of people who are already on our side, and it's like, all right, come on, get out of here, give us stuff.
Get out of here, suck-ups.
Is that Kevin talking or Ziada talking? Because I can't tell.
Sure. No, I think it's kind of like either way. It's not like Ziada's really worried about getting all of like everyone's like admiration as much as like she wants to take care of anything that she's doing with like the barbarians and taking over that whole thing. But so yeah, I mean I think like what's it called? Having like an army or some sort of force behind us obviously would not be something that would hurt with getting some goals accomplished.
So one of the things that I think I should share that maybe I haven't made clear to point is that each one of the towns that you have gone to thus far has like a regulated militia, and that like if shit goes down and like the orcs are attacking or like some like evil creature shows up to take over the town, that they can rally, and these are the people that are going to go out and fight and not just run away or lock their doors. And so each town has a quote unquote army per se, but probably the largest, not probably, most definitively, the largest and most well supported is that in Bryn Shander. And so Bryn Shander, not only the hub of 10 towns, also has the most like regulated and I would say like armored militia that's at ready and at hand. So if you're looking for an army, that's one that kind of already exists as far as like trying to get like one of these groups or towns on your side. The other thing to know about that too is that the sheriff of Bryn Shander actually asked to talk to you guys about some problems and concerns maybe a week or so ago or whenever you were last in Bryn Shander, but it wasn't pressing. So you guys were like, we got other shit to do. And you took off. But you do have an in to go have that conversation too.
So Bryn Shander is like a two-way sanctuary city.
A two-way what? Sorry.
A two-way sanctuary town.
In what way? What do you mean?
Never mind.
Oh, I like it's if it's a reference, I don't get it, so I'm sorry.
Second Amendment.
Oh, all right. Now I see what you're saying. Okay, yes.
It's still not funny.
They're a constitutional carry town. Yeah, that's what's going on. So, anyways, but yeah, those are things to know. But like each one of the towns has had some semblance of a militia. I think that really the only pushback that you guys all know about, that you've had discussion about, is that there's this other force that's somehow engaged in the politicking and like martial affairs of 10 towns, and that is the Zentarium and this figure known as the Black Bishop.
Right. Which I knew we're dealing with in some ways, but we're just not. We haven't dealt with at all. We've just encountered.
We're dealing with it by
I say
nothing.
deal with, and it's just like, no, wrong word entirely. We have done
it's
nothing
like
to deal with this.
When you get the list of chores and you're like, well, I did 9 of the 10, so really I did my chores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You must have been taking care of my kids recently.
I have a 2-year-old that I'm just trying to get to pick up after herself. So yeah. No, I get it. Yeah.
I have a 14 and a 7-year-old that I'm just trying to get to pick up after them fucking selves. Anyway, we're escaping from this shit.
Anyway, yes. All right.
But I think we could also, now that I think about it, because it was mentioned, there's the barbarians that, there's maybe 300 of them.
Yeah, there's the whole. Well, so there's more than that, because there are 4 tribes that you got, like you particularly, Ziada, but I would say that most of you being like residents know that there are 4 major tribes of barbarians. There's the tribe of the elk, the tribe of the bear, the tribe of the wolf, and the tribe of the tiger. And the tiger is the tiger is the one that whole cutscene that I had to do twice because thanks Discord. That's that one. The wolf is probably the weakest, but maybe like the most like gorilla-esque, like Strike from the Shadows kind of thing. The elk used to be the strongest, but like because their members have kind of become more civilized, many of them have kind of turned into 10-towners instead of staying with the tribe of the elk. They're still there. And the tribe of the bear, and the tribe of the bear is the one that is having some serious problems with some sort of like magics or something, and hence you've been sort of given that task as well. There's also a group known as the Regged or Reghead. I haven't decided how to say it yet. Barbarians, and they're kind of like a loose tribe that basically hates everybody that's not them. And they live around the Regged Glacier, which is sort of like far to the north. But I can go back to the map, but we've seen it before. But yeah, there's that group too.
All right, so I think first things first. I know we're staying until midnight. Do we want to just kind of move around as a group, just clear out the cave, just make sure, and then see where that brings us?
Sounds good with me.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the safest bet.
I'm going to sit by the fire and start my ritual to summon a familiar.
Oh, cool.
TJ, I would say that you could do this while everybody was resting, or you could do it while you were resting. Like I'm not going to deny you the ability to do stuff. So like if you wanted to say that you did that,
even better.
Yeah, but if you want to describe it at all in a cool way, I'm down with that. Especially since you're summoning it next to a pot of like bubbling, boiling human flesh.
Is it a minotaur? Are you summoning a minotaur? A pirate minotaur?
Is it your son? Are you summoning your son?
I wish it was that powerful.
Yeah, all of a sudden we have a friggin' level 11.
That would be awesome. No, it is a celestial in nature, but so I would say like a flash of light, but it is an owl. That is its appearance.
Okay. Does it look like a snowy owl? Does it look like a barn owl? Like is it like a jet black owl? Like what does it look like? I mean, it's magic, so you could literally describe whatever you want.
I was thinking snow for the whole theme of cold and whatnot. So
cool, very cool. All right, if you want to try to find an image of the owl, I will happily incorporate it into the game. I mean, I could find one, but like if you want to find one that you're like, this is what I was thinking of, I'm happy to do that. So I love how I say that, and it sounds like I've got some sort of technical expertise, and it's just dragging and dropping pictures. But whatever. I'm just saying that.
You might
Is
as well
there,
say Kevin's going to do it.
Shut the
Well,
shut
I
the
think
f up! Right? No, you're probably right. You're probably right. But
hasn't he already by getting paying for the roll 20 stuff? Shouldn't there be an owl? Like
Oh, actually, yeah, because you're gonna use those stats.
yeah.
oh shit, yeah, maybe. So
It-
yeah,
It's in like
Yeah.
the
All I know.
notes like tab, and then you can go to the monsters. I don't know exactly what it's called, but you could search owl.
Yeah, I'm guessing it would just use that because it would use those stats.
Right.
monster. Oh, let's see what we got. Giant octopus? No, that would be cool, but no. I'm gonna summon a ice octopus. Cool.
Because
can
of the
have an
snow
aquatic pet.
theme.
So, Kevin, in the monster thing, I have the stats that the owl has, but it doesn't have an icon. It doesn't have an image.
You should be able to just kind of grab it and drag it onto the thing, and then it
Well,
takes a while to load sometimes.
Let's see.
If not, it can be
Oh,
finicky
yep.
sometimes.
Yep.
but
Hold on. I'm gonna give control of this.
It might be a
to-
little different than what you're used to.
Well, it comes up and it's I've got
It
represents
says
owls.
it's set in something else, right?
Yeah, well, can you guys see? Hold on. Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Is it a little owl? I'm trying to zoom in to see right now. Yeah, I think it's a little owl. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
is.
it's an owl.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. And then it's not letting me give control to a person. It says control determined by character setting.
Yeah, you have to go into like the next thing where it has like all the icons, and then change the setting from there.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's where it's, you know, a little finicky with like giving control and stuff. I've tried to like assign different pictures to those things because I've heard that you can, and I think I've done it, but it's miserable.
So yeah. So we'll work on this.
And it
TJ,
might make more sense to have. I can jump on at some point too and just play with it, just so that you have something where you can just take it and copy it and then have it, and it's under TJ's control. But
all right. So TJ, yeah. So TJ, for now, you have an owl that's next to you, and if we go to another map, I'll move. We can just like open quotes, move it around with you. And so if you wanted to do something with you, it's there with you, and you can basically do it.
Cool. One thing I know is that this familiar spell, because I'm not a warlock, the familiar can't attack, but it can help people. So
It can deliver. It can deliver touch spells, right?
And
I don't know if
broomsticks.
that's. I don't know if that's. That might be a warlock one as well. Like I'm not sure if I can cast through it. I'll read up on it, but
All right. But as you
I
guys
know that
kind
I can see through it. So like I would go deaf and blind, and I would be able to hear and see what it sees.
you take
so
its senses, right?
you're gonna
Right.
pull a Pavel, is what you're
Yeah.
saying, and
Yep.
go
And I can-
through your ferret's eyes. Okay.
yeah, I mean that would be pretty dope because I would just having this now is great because I can just send it through the cave
Oh,
And
it's great. It's great until the DM sends a monster behind you, and you're totally blind and senseless, and the monster attacks. Not that I'd do that, or maybe I would. I don't know. But anyways,
yeah, that's why I was hoping that these guys would, watch my body as I just ran across the map.
Yeah, no, we totally just bail.
your eyes roll back in your head, and you're like, "I'll go ahead and find out what's ahead." Like you pull a what was his name? Who was the cripple kid?
And
from-
all I go is, well, no one has a better story than Loki.
No. I just imagine he's
And
like,
we shouldn't
"I'll look
reference
ahead."
that anymore because we don't have time. We already screw
No, I
around
know.
enough. We
just,
don't have
no,
time
I'm
for
just
me
saying,
to get going.
I'm just saying, Loki goes, "I'll look ahead," pulls that effect, and then somebody hears like a twig snap, and everybody leaves the room, and he's just standing there like, and just nobody knows what's up. Anyways, all right. So yeah, so you have an owl. You can do that. You have several other abilities that go with the owl. I love the fact that right now the hit points on the owl say 1 of 1. Your owl definitely has more than 1 hit point, but just what I'm looking at says 1 of 1, and that's hilarious. So is there anything else that people needed to do or call out that they were doing during their short rest, apart from healing hit points?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I don't
All
think
right,
so.
cool. In that case, why don't you guys show me where you want to explore, and I'll tell you what you come across. Ziada, if you move there, those are that's the stairwell that the giant, like frost giant skeleton came up. As you start to move down that pathway, everything is in darkness in front of you. So do you have dark vision? Do you have the ability to see?
Yep.
All right. So you see in front of you this stairwell leading down, and as you start to get down there, you see that it sort of, with like just beyond the ken of your vision that you can see, is that it continues this way, like along this wall, but that there's also a curve like right here where there's a passageway going to the left. If anybody wants to move with Ziada, feel free. If you want to just send her to her death by herself, that's fine too. All right. As you get there, Ziada, you see that, yep, this opens up to the left, and that there is a passageway to your right that kind of like, well, I would say it sort of follows this wall, and you can see sort of shimmering light coming from ahead, and you get a feeling that that's light from. Do you remember the room that you saw that had like the frozen giants like submerged in ice with like the light coming from the ceiling? That's probably where that leads to.
Yeah, it's like right to the north.
Yeah, like you guys came through that room before you came into the room that you battled the sea head mod in. All right, as you get there, you see that this room opens up, and you see that right about here in the room is carnage. There are like skinned skeletons and like fingers and bones and feet and things that probably weren't great for a stew, just carved and tossed everywhere. It's a room that, like, if we were playing Call of Cthulhu right now, you'd have to make a sanity roll on because it's that gross. And in the center of the room, right about here, which your vantage point kind of provides you, or one of you can see, is the basis of what looks like a frozen pillar that's like 15 by 15 that has shattered, and there's ice shards everywhere. And you remember that at the beginning of the battle, there was like the sound of like cracking and breaking of ice. And I'll tell you, because there's no sense to not tell you, the frost giant skeleton was actually encapsulated in that, and it took 2 turns for it, once summoned, to break free. And so that was what that was. But this room is gross. Like there's blood, there's gore, there's everything from small animals and birds to like the scraps of ravaged clothing and armor and rusty weapons everywhere in this room. And before anybody asks, everything with regards to that stuff is beyond the sense of saving or repair. Like it's been exposed to salt, it's rusted, it's corroded, it's warped, it's falling apart kind of stuff.
Are you suggesting we would loot the bodies?
I know I would if I was a player. So that's why I'm saying, like, there's nothing in this room that's salvageable. But yeah.
Yeah. Ziada's reaction is put in Discord.
Jesus Christ! Now I gotta go to Discord.
Yep.
Gross. Yep. Nope. That's it.
Gross.
That is the only downfall.
Now back to my hunch.
First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to push him into the gross room and then go from there. So I know that I've talked to TJ and Kevin about this before, but the comedian, oh shit, what the fuck is his name?
Don Mulaney?
No. He's got a podcast. He's very much like Cy Amundsen. In fact, I think he's got like a podcast with Cy. I can't remember his name. Like I think you guys have quoted him before. I had a whole thing I was going to do because it's something that happened when I went to the gym today. But it was just like, I was like, Connie, I will destroy you kind of thing. And it just, never mind. Sorry. Chad Daniels. Not Chad Daniels. I can't think of his name. Shit.
We'll circle back.
Thanks, Coach.
All right. So from there, let's go not that way.
Sorry. You're heading into the gross room. You were in the clear room.
So
this is the gross room.
So this way would be the
that way you probably can see it right now where you just moved to. That leads you back to like the room of frozen frost giant skeletons or frost giant corpses in the ice.
I don't even know how much I want to fucking stay until midnight at this point. This is bullshit. Fucking gross, bitch.
Kevin, just before you like say I don't want to deal with this shit. There did appear to be an opening on the other side of the room down here to the south.
Oh yeah, I'm not walking through that room for it. We'll go around because I know there were like 18 entrances at the waterfall or whatever.
No, Valkyrie, if you just do me a favor, but like
you can go through it.
Give me an investigation or a perception check.
1 second.
All right. With a 9, you know that there is a set of stairs that leads down on the other side of the room.
I'm happy to go enter the room. I mean, Nabakri doesn't have these hang-ups.
All right, yeah. So go, if you want to go in the room, go in the room. I mean, it's up to you guys. It is, to quote a previously shown Discord statement, gross. But as you enter the room, thanks to like the eternal cold that the world is in right now, there's no like overwhelming sense of like or scent of like rot and decay. It's just frozen, like rime covered, obliterated corpses that like this sea hag and her minions have just been picking over and making stew out of for however long.
Okay.
I mean, if any of you are necromancers that need bones or other things, you could probably find it in this room. As you get to the sort of southern end of the room, or south, that would be southwestern part of the room, you see that there is a set of stairs that lead down maybe 10 feet, 10, 15 feet, something like that.
Can I do a perception to see if I can't hear anything coming up or down those stairs?
Yeah, give me a perception.
Oh, rolled off the 20.
Well, with a 7, I will tell you, you don't hear anything apart from the noises that you guys have heard throughout the caves this whole time, which is that like creepy old man like moaning that the wind makes as it works its way through the caves. That's it.
Okay, I'm gonna pause here to see if the other chickens will come back behind me.
There's a little part of me that, like, where Ziada just ran up next to you was like, are you fucking calling me a chicken? Are you calling me a chicken? What?
No, we're good.
By the way, is the rest of the party still just hanging around the meat stew box, or what are you guys doing?
Around the meat stew.
Having some human stew? That we might have to make some alignment checks if that's the case. But
I
okay,
don't have any, but I'm hanging around it.
I'm thinking
Guarding our new pot.
it's like when somebody's like, "Hey, man, do you want to try some cuttlefish?" Do I? I mean, it looks like an octopus. It's not an octopus. Do I want to put that in my mouth? I don't know. Am I going to do it? I don't know. But yeah, and
Right, cuttlefish is actually pretty good.
Really? So I've never had it, so I don't know. I've had octopus, I've had lobster, I've had lots of things. I've never had that. But speaking of,
I don't like octopus. I don't like calamari.
it's not bad. I don't think it's amazing, but it's not bad. But speaking of things that aren't bad, Rothgar, what are you doing? Are you eating human stew? Are you going to investigate with the others? What are you doing?
I'm investigating.
All right, you should move yourself up there.
I should, but I can't.
Like you don't have control, or
No, it's just me.
oh, okay, cool. Here, let me do this. I'm gonna just sort of move you over here, and then do this to show you. Is that cool? Putting you right there.
Sure.
All right, cool. All right, so yeah, so you guys are standing at the top of the stairs that lead down. I don't know if you see the arrow that's on the floor that I can see on the map that's leading up. It's the arrow is just to say that like if you had come that way, it leads up. It's not an arrow that indicates anything besides that.
We cannot.
Okay, cool. It was one of those things where I'm like, might as well explain it just in case. So yeah, so what do you guys want to do? All right, you move down a little further, and you can see. I'll say Ziada from there without having to like do too much. You can see that it opens up into what looks like a frozen riverbed, like the sort of snow covered solid ground that you're on opens up into a frozen riverbed. And you remember that as you had come in before, you came to a bridge where some of you jumped down, you didn't decide to go across, etc. And this may be bringing you back to that exact area kind of thing. If you progress a little further, you might see that. All right. Ziada, when you're there, everybody kind of moves up to right there. You can see, I'm going to say that you get enough of a sense that you know that this is that exact frozen riverbed that I was saying. But as you come to right here, you see that, like, so this way, sort of your north is heading towards that slippery ice bridge. And to your south or southwest, there appears to be a frozen waterfall. And anybody who's there, give me a perception check. Oh man, 28, 10. Novakri 11. What about you, Ziada?
14.
14. Rothgar 13. The 13 and actually no, Ziada, you got an 11. So yeah, so all three of you see that where the water is frozen and kind of falls over the edge, for whatever reason, what little light there is in the space, there looks like there's something shiny in the frozen water that's falling over the edge.
Is it running water with just ice on it, or is it completely frozen?
So it appears that there is running water underneath it, or there was at some point, but that because of the sort of permafrost that's all around, there's a solid level of ice over everything. And whether it's in the ice or sort of lodged in a stone under the water behind the ice, it appears that there's one or maybe a couple shiny items, like right here and right here.
I'm going to take a closer look at it. Can I determine what it is?
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
Everybody?
No, just her for the time being.
22.
You guys are kind of coming up as she's doing this. 22. You see what looks like, it looks like an item of some kind that's got some sort of like metal attached to it. That like there seems to be still some water movement that's making this item with the metal move, and that's causing it to move and catch the light periodically, which is starting to flash. Or not starting to flash, but like that movement is refracting the light, which is what caught your eye. And that check is enough to notice that it seems that is the same thing that is happening over on the other side as well. There's this like there still seems to be some water movement that hasn't frozen solid, and that like that's what's catching the light, causing light, etc. that you're seeing. So what would you like to do? Before anybody does anything else, asking you first.
Does this look like something I could like take my dagger out and chip away at?
100%. This, and just because you guys have had to do this before, this looks like something that like within the round you could get to, as opposed to, you know, when you had to dig through multiple rounds for the Frost Dragon's treasure, or to get through to the statue of the statue of Sylvanas kind of thing. Like this seems like something that you could get through kind of thing.
Okay. Does this one look like it's flickering and kind of the same movement as the other one, i.e. they are connected in some way?
No, they look like two separate items. And as you kind of like where you're at right now and you're looking, it looks like it looks like this is kind of like a rocky faced waterfall that has various sections that are stones that are really close to the ice, that has frozen over, which is where you see these like sort of frozen items. And then there's sort of like these grooves and these dip sections that that like the water must be deeper kind of thing. So like you don't see the stone face or feature, except like, you know, like think about like if you're walking through the woods and you see a waterfall, there's some sections where the water runs like right over the stone, and then there's other sections where you just see the water falling. And so where you see these items is that, right? Like that concept of like right on the surface, like it must have been caught by a stone or a rock, and they got frozen close to the surface, whereas the other sections where the water's deeper or maybe like traveled with more velocity, the top froze over, but behind it there's more happening kind of thing.
Okay, well, I'll chip it out if I can.
Yeah, go right ahead. So give me an athletics check.
Yeah, no.
So you take your knife out and you're like, ting, ting, ting. And I just imagine that anybody who is like a capable warrior just looks at you and is like, why would you do that to a knife? Like that's horrific. And so I cut over to Ziada and Rothgar. What are you guys doing right now as this is kind of going on?
Hey, I could have pulled a firebolt out.
You could have.
We saw two things. I think I either want to head to the other one or help with the one that's currently an issue.
Yeah. So you can do that. So basically, right here, there's some shiny, and sort of right to the how do I want to say it? The foot of Ziada. There's a not Ziada. I'm sorry. Navakri. There's a shiny right there as well.
All right, I'll try and help Navakri.
Okay. All right. So give me an athletics check.
There it is, 21.
All right. You how do you just punch through the ice, or do you use a weapon? What do you?
Yeah, I kind of as after she chips at it, I just kind of reach in and just grab it right through the ice, and just go here.
Well, so she managed to ice
She
pick the
loosened
top
it up for me.
thing. So you're just sort of punching pucha, and as you get in and your hand goes in and you put your hand into ice cold water. You're not going to suffer any ill effects from it, but it's ice cold water, and you feel this thing that it feels like a leather strap with some metal and maybe glass attached to it. And as you put your hand in, you wrap it around this thing, and you're like, this is weird. And you start to pull it out from the water. You feel something else touch the back of your hand, and in that moment, this tendril, this water tentacle shoots out, and I'm going to roll a d4. Ziato, you're going to be 1 and 2. Nuvakri, you're going to be 3 and 4. It's a 1, so Ziata, it's coming at you. And this tentacle is going to come out and try to grab you right now. There's always something. So I need to look. What am I doing? Does an 18 hit you?
No.
Son of a bitch. Okay. In that case, it is time to roll some initiative. So let's pull up the initiative tracker. Boom. I gotta put this.
All right, now is this initiative for all three of us or just those two?
No, everybody rolls initiative right now. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get back to the right layer. There we go. All right. So certain things are going to be dead that I can just get rid of.
And Loki is still by the pot.
Yep. And what is it? It is. Okay. Does everybody have their... Oh, I can get rid of mod, sorry. Does everybody have their initiatives in there? Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
Descending. Okay. So Loki's up first, but Loki has dropped off Discord, so I'm going to just say that when he jumps back in, he can do what he wants to do, and it goes to Rothgar.
Just put him around the corner from here, and he can move in once he gets back on.
Well, I mean, he's got to move quite a way because he never said that he moved up with you guys. He said he was just hanging out. So,
with his job, we might have lost him for the night too. So
yeah. So I'm just saying that he may not be here for this. So If like,
And he's not here for this, so
yeah. So okay. So it goes to Rothgar. Rothgar, there is this like there is a water tentacle that has just erupted out of the hole that Ziada punched in to get this item that she still hasn't recognized what it is in her hand, that has come out, that just came out and tried to swat her.
And do I have a clear strike at it?
You know what? Yeah, I'm going to say that you do. I'm going to say that you do because, well, you can strike at the tentacle. Like, whatever this is attached to, you still haven't seen yet because there's only a small hole in the ice. But yeah, you could attack the tentacle. That is
does not hit.
That is not going to hit. That is not going to hit. However, as much as I don't want to give this to you, you do have allies all around this thing, so you kind of have advantage.
Okay.
Or at least in the realm of Tom's D&D, you have advantage. So if you want to roll again, roll a 1, and I want you to hit yourself with it. But go ahead, roll again.
Not much better.
That is not. Nope, that's not enough. That is not going to hit this thing. This tentacle is like just flailing around. Okay, it goes to.
Hey, I'm not done.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
I get the butt strike. Don't forget.
Oh, the butt strikes true though. You jerk. All right, what do you do? 4 points of damage.
5.
5. That's right. +1 weapon. All right, +5. All right. Okay. So you're like miss. This thing's just like whipping around like, and the last check you're like, you know what? I am Rothgar, master of the butt strike, and you're like, Pacha! And you give it a 4-point butt strike. Gross, but cool. As that happens, the ice underneath Ziada's feet starts to crack, and I'm going to need a dex save from Ziada as this beast emerges. And I'm going to do a quick zoom in so you guys can see. As this thing starts coming out of the water with all these...
Water weird?
What's the matter?
So what is that, a water weird?
Dude, I didn't even know these were a thing. I've never encountered these things before.
all right, that's a 16.
All right. Ziada, 14 is not
It's
enough.
actually a 16.
You son of a bitch.
Yes.
Why is it a 16?
Because of a trait that I have that I get to add my dexterity. I get to add to my dex bonus.
First of all, is that some bullshit you're just saying so you don't fall prone and into the water? Second
Nope.
of all, that's cool. All right. So you manage to like sidestep one way or another. So you can take a step 5 foot in any direction you want right now to get out of the way of this thing as it emerges, as it like erupts out of the ice. So like, yeah, I was just going to say you go there, but yeah. All right. So you step there and this thing is now like out of the ice. Like it comes out and it lashes out with two of these water tentacles. I have a D4 out. I got to roll a D6. All right. I'm going to say that 1 and 2, Rothgar, 3 and 4, Ziada, 5 and 6, Novakri. All right, so the first one is coming at Ziada again. Let's see if like this actually works this time instead of last time where I was hitting buttons and it didn't work. All right, reroll. 17, not going to hit because an 18 missed you. All right, second attack that's coming at you. It's coming at Novakri this time. Oh, does a 23 hit you?
Yeah, can't do anything about that.
All right, here we go. So you're going to take, this is a little gross. You're going to take 13 points of damage, and you are now constricted and start to get pulled towards the hole as if it's going to drag you under the water. It pulls you into its area, which is right here, because it can pull you 5 feet, but it's out of the water right now, which means it can't drown you yet.
13 points of damage?
These things are fucking nasty, man. Like, I read it and I was like, what? But yeah, so okay. Where is my turn? Oh, there it is. Okay, that is its turn. Ziada, your comrade, who was like, "There's a shiny thing right here," and just made you make this thing come out. What do you do?
Let's see. I would like to do something to this stupid thing.
I would like to do something.
I probably want to step up, and if I can't, like, if I can see like a tendril and like attack that to in some way, I might have to give up. Is it an attack or my whole action to try and help?
I'm gonna say that where the creature has kind of like dragged it back to itself, it hasn't like put, like, it's made of water, so it hasn't put it in herself yet, so she's not drowning. But it's basically like, I'm thinking like there's a crack hole, that sounds terrible. There's a hole that has been cracked in the ice, and like you can see half of her body. You could try to like grab her and pull her out, so she can't get pulled under. But if you do that, that's going to be your turn, because you're going to have to, like, that's a full on like athletics check to do that. And if you fail, she's potentially going to get pulled under. If you want to attack the creature, you have free reign to attack the creature however you want. I will say that where you're set up right now, I'm not going to give you flanking based on the size of the creature. But like you can just hit this creature willy-nilly however you want to do that, if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, I'm going to try and pull Novakri out. So athletics?
Yep, I need to check something really fast, sorry.
Yep.
No, it's not that you can't do it. It's just I just forget. You know what? I wrote down everything stats on this paper except for the strength score of this creature. So I'm just going to pull it up really fast. So it is, okay, I got it. All right. So you roll your strength score. I'm going to roll mine, and let's see where we meet.
Oh, that's not great. And we rolled a 2. So that's only an 8. So
there's a chance. There is a chance. Not with that.
Yeah.
With that. And with that, like,
it
all
really
of a sudden,
wants you, so I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Like, it's not its turn, but it pulls her down ever so slightly more, and now it's just her head, and you see Novakri's head like gasping over the edge of the ice. All right, that is your turn, unless you have like a bonus action or something you want to try to do.
I can't bonus action unless I attack, so no. I don't have that.
All right, Novakri, it is your turn. You are about to get sucked into you are in the icy cold water. Like, it is shocking. It is like it's like taking your breath away, on top of the fact that a monster is about to try to suffocate you like a crocodile does. What do you do?
Okay, this is either going to be really epic or it's going to really suck. Give me a wisdom save.
A wisdom save? Oh, shit. Hold on, I got to go back and make sure I know what I have. All right, so it's a +0. This is a straight-up D20 roll. Here we go. Not great.
Okay, so 1, he takes 9 points of damage, psychic.
All right, so he takes 9 points of psychic damage. All right, hold on. Let me write this down. All right, 9 points of psychic damage.
But here's where it gets a little fun. He must move away from me as far as his speed has. As a reaction.
So in reaction to this, he has to, like, flee from you?
Yes.
Okay.
That's fucking
All right.
awesome.
That's fucking amazing. So what I'm going to say is the tendril that's wrapped around you all of a sudden loosens as this thing kind of shudders as this like psychic pain shoots through it, and the creature like shoots out under the water, like just away from you, not knowing what just created this pain or why it needs to do it, but just like get the F out of here, and it takes
But
off.
we also get opportunity attacks.
Yes, so obviously yes, you guys can all do that. But I'm just saying that like I feel pretty confident you're not going to kill this thing with those. But yes, I'm going to say that you probably don't get one. I mean, yeah, no, everybody can take one. So Ziada, a 10 is not going to hit it. Rothgar and Novakri, if you want to take one, you can take one.
Like I said,
I
that
mean,
was either going to
like no. I mean, it's always fun to hit. So roll the hit. Like it's not like I'm being negative about it. Go ahead and do it.
I'm sorry, I'm cutting out. Are we all attacking? Are we all hitting?
Yeah, everybody gets a strike on this. So Ziada took a strike. Holy shit, Novakri, you are rolling rocks. Unfortunately, it's only 1 point of damage. But yeah, all right. So you do a
fire
point
damage.
no, that's fine. It doesn't. It's not a. It's actually, you know what? No, I take that back. It is resist. Like you see that the fire just bounces off of it. It doesn't do any damage to it.
No, it does 1 point of damage. It's
Not if the
half
creature. Not if the creature is resistant to it. Well, no, you always do a minimum of 1 point of damage. So yes, you do 1 point of damage to it.
So full damage.
Is the attack roll with it still with advantage?
No, the attack roll is not with advantage.
Like I said, that was either going to really rock or really suck.
Well, I was like, you're like, wisdom check. And I'm like, I don't think these, nope, it's a 0. At least it's not a negative. And then I rolled a 4. And so this thing like just takes off under the water. And so that being said, I'm just going to say that you guys can remove the other 2 items, and it's not coming back because it's not interested in having anything to do with any of you. However, you, Novakri, you have been submerged in ice cold water, and if you do not have some other clothes to get into, problems are going to arise pretty effing soon.
We all got extra clothes.
Oh, I know.
And prestidigitation.
Prestidigitation cleans you.
Nice.
I don't think it dries you.
It removes it removes soil, and you can call dirty water soiled.
I'm not going to call that. No. I mean, I you know what? I appreciate and I applaud the attempt to use that, but I'm not going to let that one fly. Nope. That is specifically why you have extra sets of clothes. However, you are now down to your last.
Well, but we also have the fire with the cauldron. I assume Loki's been keeping warm for us.
Well, so fair enough. So why don't we do this? Why don't we figure out what you have found? So are you guys going to take the time to dig out the other shiny?
Yep.
Okay. So in that case, let me go back to my notes here so that I can tell you what you have found. All right. Hold on. Sorry. All right. The bag that's to the left, the one that's over here. As you dig it out, you realize is a small, tattered coin pouch that has quite a surprising amount in it. It has 60 gold pieces, 10 silver, and 1 platinum. What Ziada has pulled out after Novakri tried to pull it out are a pair of what look like goggles. And if anybody wants to do a check on that, you might know more about them.
What kind of a check?
This would be an Arcana check.
That's not me.
And TJ, I saw that you came back in, so 50. That's going to be enough. These are called Goggles of Night. And goggles of night are dark lenses that, when you wear, grant the wearer 60 feet of dark vision.
Nice.
Yeah, this was something that if you guys didn't find, I was like, bummer. But it also came with a cost, because the water weird was literally going to grab one or two of you and suck you under and just hold you till you drowned and then come back for the rest of you. And so your whole like go away from me was literally one of the best things you could have done against this. And then Chris, great call on like just being like, is this a water weird? I didn't even know these were a thing. Like, cool, man. So yeah. So all right, combat over. You have encountered another thing. What you see right here in front of you, this frozen waterway, I'm not going to make you make survival checks or anything. I'll just tell you, leads back out to the frozen waterway that you saw when you first came to the caves. There were 3 caves to choose from. You chose the center one that led you to the bridge that spanned over this. You dropped down and went to the north, and that's how you fought Maud. You guys kind of came around the bottom part of this and found this waterfall, etc. What you know as you're kind of wasting time, that's a terrible way of saying it, wasting time, is that the bridge spanned across into another room, and that there were at least 2 other rooms that you had not explored yet. So depending upon what you guys want to do, that's what you can do. TJ, I'm just going to cut back to you real fast and just say that like you heard like the sounds of maybe like the beginning of a skirmish or a battle, and like quick like cries for help, and then it quickly like resolved and everything got quiet again.
That's cool. I'm just gonna
But-
sit here and feed my bird.
All right, you're just feeding your bird human flesh. All right, cool. That's not weird at all. But I am going to use the restroom, so discuss amongst yourselves where you want to go next, how you want to do it, and I will be right back.
That makes sense, because that's how you hunt. Humans.
It's celestial, so it poops them out healed. That's how it is.
Yeah, no
Okay.
problem.
Who does not have dark vision?
Me?
Who doesn't have what?
Dark vision.
I have it, so...
I don't. Do you guys?
I don't.
Oh, so Ziada's the only one that has it.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, I stand there with the goggles. Going,
Yeah.
I don't need these.
He's a purdy.
I'll wear them. You're just like, yep. I'm gonna be like those Greek sisters that share that one eyeball.
There you go. Just you guys, yeah, just like stand head to head, so that
13 points of damage.
like
That's
one
half my
eye
health right
is
there.
looking through each lens. You guys just stand head to head so that one eye is looking through each lens.
Still is one of
But
us
you
out.
still have to rotate.
This is the most efficient way.
All right, so what are you guys doing, or what do you want to try to do?
I think we were going to try to go ahead and go investigate the other, like you said, 2 rooms.
So I'll tell you that from where you guys are at, there are. All right, yes, Arna. I know you're in the room. Thank you. Okay. My cat's screaming. So what you guys know, or what you can do, is there are 2 ways of sort of further exploring. One is to follow the river that you're at right now, back up to the bridge, and try to climb up to it, or to go back out to the front where you started and try to come in through the other entranceways, because you have effectively explored everything that is the back end of the cave at this point, with the exception of where that bridge led to, and I don't think you ever went into there.
I'm good for the second option.
Murder yourself to the dead frost giant gods? Oh, okay, cool.
So
Do it.
No, that was
would
option
be-
3.
Oh, I'm bad at counting. I'm sorry.
We've noticed.
We know.
So if we go up here, right, the way I'm going,
Yep. So I'm just gonna
it
grab
leads
you and move
to
you.
the rope.
Right here, there's a bridge right here that you guys climbed down from when you first came to.
Yep.
That leads into a room. That's basically, if you think like on the map to the right, I'll tell you that's the only thing in a completionist sense you have not done yet. But that bridge is about 20 feet above you.
Shouldn't there be ropes hanging from it?
Yeah, because that's how
Yeah,
we would have come down.
if you guys wait, that's a question because we never established it. Did you take your ropes from there when you left, or did you leave them there?
No, I know I got some extra ropes at one point when we were in town. I definitely know that I had left that there because we don't have a way of getting it, and also we didn't know what we were getting into.
Okay, so I'm fine with that because I'm fine with that. The one thing that I will say that you remember is that the bridge itself seemed icy and treacherous, aka if you didn't have like crampons on, you were even actually no, I take that back as I'm looking at the description. Even with crampons, and I'm not sure if you guys have purchased those yet or not.
We did.
You had a balance check to make to get across it because it was that icy. And I think that was the reason why you were like, fuck this, we're just climbing down.
No, I think the reason we climbed down is because I jumped off the edge with my ring.
I mean, that could have been too. I just remember describing the bridge to you, and the next thing I knew, you guys were all on the frozen riverbed just walking. And I was like, well, all right, they're doing that now.
So yeah, I think I'll try and climb up if I can.
Yeah, I mean, give me an athletics check, please.
19.
Yeah, easily.
All right. I slap on my crampons.
I'm asking because I don't remember. I know everybody bought a secondary set of cold weather gear once you had cash for it. Does everybody have crampons, or is it just you?
I thought that was one of the things that we had bought at one point because we started realizing that ice is slippery.
Yeah, if you guys have, perfect. I mean, we've been doing this for a hot minute, so like I just didn't remember. But yeah, so you get up there, and once you get up there okay. But if you want to cross the bridge, you have to give me a balance check, or I'm sorry, an acrobatics check.
Oh, okay, that's not great for me. So let's see. Nope. Very bad.
So you climb up, and as you start to move forward, your feet just give out from under you, and I'm going to give you a dex save to see if you can grab the edge. Now, again, you're grabbing ice, so it's going to be a hard dex save, but give me a dex save.
All right, so it's actually an 11, but that's still not very high.
It's not going to be enough. So do you have? I know that you have the ethereal wings or like necrotic wings. Do you have like something that saves you from falling at all, like a cat's grace or something like that, or no?
No, not that I know of. The wings are all cool looking.
All right.
But...
So you, after climbing up, fall down and land on your back and take 5 points of damage.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I'm sorry. I'm gonna retcon that. You take 1 point of damage because the first 10 feet is ignored. It's 20 feet, and I rolled 2, and the first one that came up was a 1. So you take 1 point of damage.
Okay.
I don't think you're gonna be upset about that, but like I was like, ooh, 2d6, 20 feet, but no, first 10 feet is ignored. So okay, but yeah, you fall back to the ground. What does everybody else do?
I climbed with a 15 athletics.
15, you made it. Acrobatics, a 9. You start to slip. You need to give me a reflex, a dexterity save.
Can I invoke my ring and just kind of hover?
Yeah, you absolutely could do that.
Yeah, I'm going to invoke the ring, just kind of hover to regain my footing. And
All right, so you're good. You're like mama, 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 mama. You're kind of like ghosting it over the top of the ice. Rothgar, you get up there. Acrobatics, not enough. Give me a dex save, man. That is enough. And you can move. I'll give you a half move. So like you spent half your move to climb up. So what's your total move? 30 feet?
Yeah.
So you can move 15 feet forward.
And we're moving this way.
So this is that's the room that you don't know what's in. Is this Rothgar? Am I you Rothgar? Yeah. So if that's there, so 5, 10, 15, you're right there. You may need to make one more check in order to get in that room, but it's probably going to be a little bit easier because you're so close to the edge of the room. Before anybody does anything else, TJ, I know that you were sitting by the fire. Do you want to come take part in this, or are you just sort of chilling off on your own right now?
I'm good.
Okay, cool. All right, so cut back to everybody else on this bridge. I'm gonna go to Ziada. Ziada, you're like, oh, son of a bitch! I was putting the lights up on the house and I slipped off. And so, what do you do?
I'll guard the down here.
All right, saving face. I like it.
I got the footing. You guys apparently have this a lot more than I do. So.
All right, Novakri, you're hovering over the ice. What do you do?
yeah, the problem with it is it's not levitation, so I can't really move myself. But will you allow me to?
You just like blow really hard in the opposite direction. You just sort of drift.
Well, what I'm thinking of is deactivate the ring, give myself a good jumping lunge, and then reactivate it.
So how about this? Give me a acrobatics check, and let's see what happens. You're fine. You're fine. Why is everybody slipping? You don't even know, and you can move into the next room. You're fine. So that's only like 10, 15 feet. Do you want to move into that room? As you get there, you see in front of you that this room contains an abandoned campsite. As you kind of look around the room, give me an investigation check. 11. You look around the room and you see the charred remains of a campfire. You see that there's like an old journal that looks like there's some pages that have been ripped out and thrown on the floor next to it, and you see like an abandoned like really ratty old like sleeping bag / like blanket and cover. If you want to get closer to look at the writing on the pages, you can do that. I'll let you have the movement to do that. You get closer and you see that the pages appear to be all written in Dwarvish, and I don't think you speak that, correct?
No, but can I recognize the term netheril in there if I see it?
You could, but there is no reference in these documents to netheril or netherese or anything along those lines. All right. So you've moved. You did some actions. I'm going to cut back to Rothgar. Rothgar, give me an acrobatics check to just get off the bridge into this room. You're fine. DC 5. You were right on the edge. So you can move into this room. All right, you move into this room. You see Navakri over by these words. She probably motions for you that they're in a language that clearly you've established that you know, which is Dwarvish. So do you go over and check them out?
Yep.
All right, so you go over and you see that on the pages that have been ripped out, the following passages have been written, and that is, "These caves are sacred to the frost giants. The carvings on the walls suggest that the giants came here to drown themselves. Did they use these hot springs as a sacrificial pool? Question mark." The next one says, "The wind truly sounds like the wailing of a woman. One could easily go mad in this place." The next one says, "I think there's someone living in these caves. Shortly after discovering the hot spring, I heard what sounded like a grainy singing. When the song ended with a shrill laugh, dread sunk its teeth into me. Ye gods, that horrible cackle! I shall leave these caves in the morning and never return. Unless, maybe she sings to me." And that is the end of what you see in this carol.
I take it that we're supposed to hit this room first.
Listen, you metagaming son of a bitch, maybe. But you didn't. You jumped off and did your own thing. But yeah, so that's what you find in this room.
Is there anything in the sleeping bag?
So I'd love to tell you that, no, and you can go check it out, and then maybe you get, filth fever or, mummy rot or something, but no, there's nothing there. There's nothing worth checking out.
Can I do a nature check to see how old the fire's been out? See if it's a long time, if it's relatively recent.
Yeah, sure. Give me, instead of
Survival.
nature or survival, whichever you want to do.
And a miss.
Yeah. So yeah, it looks like it's been a hot minute, but that hot minute could be months, maybe it's years, who knows? It's one of those things where in this cold environment, it's almost like a museum kind of effect on things, right? Where the stuff and things don't age the way they normally would because of the reduced temperature. So yeah, so you guys have explored this. At this point, really, the only other thing that you could do is go back out to the front and explore the cave mouths that you didn't come in. What I will say is that if you guys want to go back and collect, for sake of the story and sake of moving the adventure along, if you want to go back and collect Loki, it'll be about midnight by the time you guys get out to the front. I think that that's fair. And I'm not going to make anyone make any more checks as far as crossing the bridge, unless you all want to exit that way, at which point, okay, everyone's got to make checks, but kind of thing.
I do not.
I do not. So there's a part of me that's super disappointed that I remembered the 10-foot rule, but it was still fun to just be like, "You fell down, bitch!" So anyways, yeah, so if you guys go back and collect Loki, I have a quick question. TJ, are you still here? Can you hear us?
Yes.
All right, so TJ, I have a question, and this is not to be an asshole. I have my fingers and toes crossed. Did you hear back about the interview? Did it work out?
back yet.
Ah, son of a bitch. Sorry, man. I was just really hoping that you were going to be like, I found. So, all right. So the party comes back and grabs you. The first question is, what are you guys doing with the cauldron? Are you going to dump it out? Like, how are you going to do it? How are you handling it? What are you doing? I'm assuming you're not going to bring back like boiled man meat, but I don't know. What are you doing?
Dump it out. Tensors disc it out at least to the boats.
Looks like meat's back on the menu.
I
Yeah.
like mine raw.
I wasn't that hungry.
Tip it over and we'll have to clean it out a little bit harder.
Hire some people with some Brillo pads. No, understood. I'm not gonna. We don't have to get into the nitty gritty about that. So yeah. So you kick it over. You get the stuff out. Man flesh and whatnot. You've got this thing. It's pretty. It's beefy. It's heavy, and you kind of drag it out. Is the plan to take it out the way of like the waterfall that you guys went in and go back that way, or are you going a different way?
Is the squid thing coming back?
I don't know. Is it?
I don't know. Is it?
I feel like this is one of those circular logic questions where you're like, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. You'll have to find out.
Or what do you want for dinner?
Yeah, that one never ends.
No.
So,
I think the easiest way would be through the waterfall and out the door.
That is like you're. I should have said the only two options that you have to drag this out is either over the waterfall where you fought the water weird. Chris, great job on knowing what that was. Actually, you know what? I haven't done this, and I want to start doing this. Take an inspiration, Chris. That was a very random thing to know and have. Take an inspiration, so you can add a D6 to any roll that you think you may have failed or whatever you want to do. You have a D6.
Cool.
I'm going to try to do more of that because I think that's fun, and I never remember to do that. So, but yeah, that's what happened.
Is an inspiration advantage?
No, you know what? I don't want to read too much into it. I'm just going to go with inspiration for right now is a D6, and that means that if you have inspiration, you can add a D6 to a roll. But once you've used it, it's gone. But yeah, so basically you guys have the waterfall, or you can climb back up to that slippery bridge and go out. What you do know, though, is that if you climb up the bridge and you're not going to cross the bridge to where you just found that thing, you really don't have to make a balance check because it's at this end of the bridge. Probably the only person who can see that is Ziada, but that's what that is. So, what do you guys want to do?
I still say over the waterfall and out the door.
yeah, I think so.
I think that sounds the easiest.
All right. So you guys gather your party, and excuse me, and this large cauldron. You bring it over to the waterfall, and you're all a little wary about the hole that's there that this thing came out of. And as you're lowering it over the edge, you hear like the creaking of ice and like the water over the stones. But nothing comes to bother you. Whatever you did to this creature sent it away for some considerable time. And so you guys all wind up back here at the mouth of the cave. And so what I'm going to describe, I want to describe to you what you see. There are a couple things that you see, and I can bring you guys all over there, but for now I just want to describe what you guys see. The first thing that you see is everybody give me a perception check, and I'll tell you. Novakar, you are suddenly very aware of your own feet.
What?
No, I saw the 4. That's all. So all right. So a 10, a 16, a 6, and a 21. All right, Loki. You notice that there is a frozen lake and some icy caves around you, and you're like, I've seen this shit before. We have a cauldron that feeds people, and I have an owl. Ziada, you notice that there are 3 openings to these caves. One is directly in front of you. One is a little further up, and that's the one that you first came in. And then there is a third one that that you didn't explore, but you have like a rough idea of what's going on with that one. You also notice that there is red stains in the snow along the coastline. Novakri, you notice that those red stains are clearly part of the harpy that you guys fought and killed, not the one that got away, but the one that you guys killed. And whatever is left of that corpse seems to have been ravaged and dragged back by several paw prints into the first cave mouth that is sort of like up and to your right. And then Rothgar, with your 21, you see that about 50 or 60 yards north of where you guys just came back out to on the edge of the lake, there is an old, like, pirate's treasure chest just sitting there on the edge of the lake.
Hey, there's a pirate's treasure chest.
Fucking yar.
Yar!
I assume
alright.
we're gonna go look at it.
Yeah.
Who has, what is everybody's passive perception?
15.
14.
Let me find it. 12.
Okay. And TJ, what is yours, TJ?
13.
13. All right. All of you hear as you walk by, as you head towards this treasure chest, and you walk by this first like cave mouth where like the sort of blood trail and the paw prints were at. You hear the contented snoring of what sounds like dogs or something dog-like. As you move past that, like nothing happens. Like it's just there. As you move towards this treasure chest and get closer to it, you see, sure enough, it looks like the classic like treasure chest from, like a Pirates movie or like a Zelda game. The only difference is the locking mechanism on the front of it has been smashed off, and the chest itself looks like kind of waterlogged and may have like a few pieces of like like seaweed or like vegetation on it. What do you do?
Tap it with the polearm, the halberd.
All right, you come up and give it a tap. Tap, tap, tap. Stay still. Nothing happens.
You said the lock has been destroyed?
Yeah, there's like a hasp that comes down, but there's nothing for it to affix to, so it's just sort of like the lid has closed on top of it.
Can I lift the lid with the halberd?
Sure.
Right, so I'm lifting the lid with the halberd.
All right, you do that, and you see the radiance of gold coins inside. Perhaps Maud Chiselbone has honored her pledge or her agreement.
Do we know how much?
It looks like a lot. but you're probably going to have to get in there and count.
Is the chest heavy?
I don't know. Do you want to try to pick it up?
Sure, I'll try picking it up.
All right, give me an athletics check, please. More than enough. You pick up the chest, and you can easily walk with it.
Oh, well, moving right along.
Yeah, let's get to the boats.
Are we heading to Lonely Tree or are we heading to Brinshan?
As you wait. So as you guys, I'm sorry. You could. I mean, that's a question you can ask. But are you guys heading back to East Haven to like claim your reward for taking care of the like finding out what happened to the lost fisherman, or like what are you guys doing?
Yeah, we're gonna go report this and get the other bag, or not the bag,
Yeah. The other thing,
Yeah.
whatever the other thing
not
was.
the
Yeah.
bag.
So as you guys start loading the boats up, and you're throwing this chest into the thing. Did you guys come across in 2 boats or 1? I can't remember. I'm sorry.
2.
I believe we had 2. Yeah.
All right. So you start loading this up. Who's in what boat? Just so I know.
Split Hrothgar and I up. I'll grab Loki.
Okay, that works.
All right. And who's got the chest?
I do.
Okay. So you guys load this up. As everybody's getting into the boats, you all hear like cutting through the sort of like the din of the ice and the snow and the wind and everything. You just hear this like enjoy your spoils. I hope to meet you again. And the voice fades out. And so you guys put your boats in. You set back towards the piers of East Haven. As you are closing in on East Haven, Hrothgar, who is with you? Novakri or Loki?
Yeah, Novakri.
All right, Novakri and Hrothgar, give me perception checks.
What's the point in having a +5 in perception if you can't roll up?
Hold on. I just want you to know I play a game where I'm an 11th level character where I have a +12 and I still roll like 13s sometimes. So I know. Hrothgar, you see that the chest moves ever so slightly, like almost like just a little bit to the side as you guys are like rowing back.
Great.
What do you do?
How is it moving?
Like so what you saw was where if you can imagine looking at like a chair, and then all of a sudden the chair just kind of like shifts slightly to the right, like by a quarter inch, right? Like not anything that is anything, but it means that the whole thing just moved a quarter inch in one direction. That's what you just saw.
It's our party's first mimic.
Can I tip out the gold into the boat and throw the chest over the side?
I mean, you could try to.
Okay.
So I have a question. Are you in front of Novakri? Is Novakri in front of you? Like, how does this work?
I don't know.
So you're in a boat. Well, I mean, so we have to theater of the mind this because I don't have a map for it. So there's a chest in a boat. There's you and Novakri. The chest moves a little bit, and you're like, I want to dump this into the boat. So are you like standing on top of Novakri? Is the chest between you and Novakri? You tell me.
I think the chest would be between us.
Okay. And are you going to dump the gold towards Novakri or towards yourself?
I'll say toward myself.
Okay. All right. So you see this and you stop and you're like, what the M F and F? And so you take your halberd and you kind of poke it again, like you poke the chest a little bit, being the master of the butt strike that you are, and it doesn't move. So you take it and you take your halberd and you kind of lift up the chest and you flip it back. And Novakri at this point is like, dude, what are you doing? And you're like, there's something going on. And she's like, what? And you're looking at it, you're looking at it, you're looking at it. Nothing is moving. There's nothing moving. Like, you just open it up and there's like this heaping mound of gold. What do you do?
Can I?
I tell Novakri what I saw. That it moved and
Can I do
that
an
I want to
investigation?
tip out the gold and throw the chest over the side.
Okay.
Can I
No,
do an
do you have anything to
investigation?
add to that or to do anything with that? Or
Well, I can either do an investigation or arcana.
yeah, I mean, absolutely. You can do what you want to do. So I'm just saying, like, do you want to feed into his paranoia, or like, what do you want to do?
I want to investigate what might be fueling his paranoia.
All right, give me an investigation check. Although, tell me what you're looking for and how you're looking.
Oh, I guess I'm going to just kind of peek underneath. He said it was moving, so that may mean something might be underneath it, moving it around a little bit. So,
All right. So you're trying to look like if there's something under the chest of gold.
yes.
Okay. So you kind of like, like you get down, you look under, like if there's like a middle row bench or something, you're like, oh, what's this? You're looking this way, you're like, oh, what's that? You're like, and you're kind of doing around. And you look, and it looks like an old moldy chest that the person who has been probably rowing this boat stood up and was like, it moved! And then threw open the lid of this boat, this chest, and said, I'm going to dump it out and throw it in the bay. That's what you're kind of seeing right now.
Sounds perfectly reasonable to me.
I mean, I don't know. What do you think, Novakri? Because it's your turn right now, and you're dealing with what could be a lunatic. So what do you want to do?
I'm just kind of pointing to under the chest and telling Rothgar there's nothing here that would make it move. I mean, we can kind of dig through the gold to see if there's anything inside.
All right, wait.
There.
What did the hag say exactly that she was going to reward us with?
She said that she would reward you with monies to compensate for the how did she put it? The not experience, but like the adventure you had provided her, basically. Like she was like, I will pay you back for what you have given me.
See, and that's it right there. We'll pay you back. One more thing that leads me to believe that this is more than just what it seems.
Hey, listen, I'm a humble DM trying to run a humble campaign. You tell me what you want to do.
Tip the chest over, spill the gold onto into the boat, and throw the chest over the side.
All right, so you're going to do this. You're going to make this happen. Are you tipping? I will ask one more time just because I want to know. Are you tipping it like towards Novakri? Are you tipping it towards yourself? Are you tipping how are you doing it?
Well, how big is the boat?
So I'm thinking that you're kind of in like a longboat kind of canoe kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
So So there's like a seat in front and a seat in back, and there's a middle area, and that's where you put this. So like you could open it towards Novakri and then push forward, and the gold folds out, or you could open it like the top folds. The top of it could fold towards Novakri, and if you're going to knock it out, you'd spill it towards yourself, or you could turn it sideways and do it. So,
or we can toward me. That way, if there are any shenanigans on that, it'll come toward me.
Or we could wait till we're on solid ground. We have everybody together in case something shenanigans going on.
We could.
I imagine at this point that like Ziada and Loki and
made it past to East Haven at this point,
and an owl who is yet to be named have already been on shore and are standing there like, what the fuck are they doing? And you guys are just like like in the middle of an ice cold lake in an ice cold winter night, just being like, should we go to the other shore? Like, what should we do right now?
Fine, we'll get to the shore.
All right, so you guys all make it to the other shoreline. You kind of pull up your boats, kind of get out. There's this heavy chest of gold. What do you do with it? That you have seen move. I mean, you legitimately feel like you have seen it move.
Well, I'll lift it up and put it up onto the dock.
All right. Yep, it's on the dock. Everybody gets off. Everybody sort of disembarks. You're back on the dock. You know that you have rooms at the. Oh shit! I gotta go. Hold on. I should have had this up. I'm sorry. At the White Lady Inn, you guys have rooms at the White Lady Inn. You know that you probably won't be able to get food and drink at this point, but if you want to try to catch like last call, you could walk across town to the Wet Trout, and you know that tomorrow morning you could go to the constabulary. I can never say this word. Constabulatory. Tell them what you've done. Talk to the what the hell is her name? The shit Captain Arlagath. Tell her, etc. And so, yeah, these are things you can do, but you have this chest of gold that as far as you're concerned, moved. So what do you do?
I will let everybody know that I am positive I saw this thing move.
If everybody wants to give me a perception check or an investigation check about this chest, feel free.
Could I hit it with my sword?
I will tell you that if you hit it with your sword, you're probably going to cut into it and break it. So you can do that, but the gold's going to start to pour out.
Can I stab down on the top of it without risking that?
Yeah. No. Yeah. You mean sort of sorcerer's chest kind of stab through the thing. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like trying to just take my sword and kind of yeah, exactly. Kind of
yeah.
Put
yeah.
it,
No.
put it
absolutely.
Into the stone.
Yeah. Yeah. You can do that. Just do me a favor and just you know what? No, just do it. Just do it and just stab.
All right.
You can do it.
I stab down onto the top of the chest.
Yeah, I'm imagining rather than an actual take your sword and strike, you just put it over the top, put your hand on the pommel and push down, right? You just sort of
yeah, kind of instead of turning my hand over to draw my sword, I just go under and then just pull it out and then stab down.
Yeah, and so you do that, and you feel there's resistance through the wood, but it's rotted, so it gives quickly, and then you feel there's resistance as the coins part, and it's and you feel it makes it to the bottom, maybe even goes through a little bit. If somebody was under the docks and looked up, they'd see the tip of your sword piercing through, kind of thing.
Yeah, I was just trying to stab the top, so that I didn't actually go through all the way, so it's halfway through if I can get into the coins, and if there's any screwery going on, then it's just right there. But if I'm just feeling wood, it's I pull it out and go, seems good to me.
Yeah, no,
swirling.
like you go through. I'm just saying that, like you go through like the top, and like the top is squishy. Like it's sort of like I was thinking about this the other night. Do you remember like back in the day, like when we would meet up on Wednesdays or Thursdays or whatever it was, and I was like, I have a machete. Let's try to chop wood in a vise in the barn. Like instead of like cha-chong, it's sort of just like squish, right? Like
Yep.
that's like the softness, right? Like. And it goes through, and then you feel like you start to feel like the rigidity of the metal that's in there. It's not fucking up your sword at all. Don't worry about it. But it's just sort of like, and you're like, oh, okay, and yeah, and so everybody rolls their checks, including Rothgar again, and the chest doesn't move, which makes you all think, is Rothgar fucking okay? Like, what's going on right now?
All right. Onward. I mean, if you're just gonna be, wrong about this stuff, that's fine.
All right, onward.
All right, let's go. I think we're going to get a rest. So, I'm going to the inn first thing.
Me too.
Yeah.
Because I think it's late at this point. Yeah, because it was midnight and we had to come back.
It was
Right,
midnight.
that's
Yeah,
why it was.
it's late. It is late. Yeah. So okay. So you guys, who picks up the chest? Who's bringing the chest?
I am, unless somebody else wants to relieve me of my burdens because I'm, losing my mind, or you think I'm losing my mind.
I figured you were just continuing to take it.
I kind of like to imagine that Loki's like, no, I got it, and he's like, no, somebody else.
He's doing great.
So
Super
all right.
anything on the chest.
All right, so is
I'm unhelping, if anything.
Is anybody not going back to the White Lady Inn? And also, are you guys dragging the cauldron back to the White Lady Inn?
Yeah, I don't see why we let it out of our sight at the moment until we, fall asleep.
Yeah, I think, you know what, it probably makes sense. If you have the treasure chest, I'll probably be carrying the cauldron. That way, we've got, those things accounted for.
Okay, so you guys get back to the White Lady Inn. The front door is open. As you come in, the place looks like abandoned, except for the fact that there's like a fire still going in one of the fireplaces. There's two fireplaces inside of it. There's nobody at any of the tables, but in the back room, you see there's like a young kid who's just sort of like sleeping with like his head on his hand, sort of like. And you guys could easily pass by this person and they would never know that you're there if everybody gave me a stealth check. Now, admittedly, this is going to be a low stealth check, but everybody give me a stealth check.
Yeah, my strong suit.
Loki, that's a pass. Rothgar, that's a pass. Ziada, that's a pass. Looks like we're only waiting
14.
for our resident sorcerer / bard.
I was
No,
the first
14.
14.
Oh, shit, yeah. Everybody passes and manages to make it past the sleeping, like, understudy that's at the bar and makes it upstairs and goes into the last step is like, and you hear like, and you guys all upstairs disappear in the room. Now, who's in what room? If I remember correctly, there were 2 rooms, so who's with who?
I think it's the same situation we had on the boat, if I remember correctly, which I might not be.
I do not recall.
Ziada has her own room and everybody else has to sleep without her?
Yeah, there we go.
So, all right. So, if that's not the case, who's with who? So, is it Loki and Rothgar and Ziada and Novakri?
Sure.
Yeah.
It sounds reasonable.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So everybody goes to bed to, get some rest. Okay. And then what was the passive perception as everybody goes to sleep and the lights go out and the fires dim and the curtains are drawn? And dreams of sweet revenge, sweet, weird, tentacled things, and dreams of riches enter all, and then maybe even like big bosomed half giants enter everyone's head. I want to know what everybody's passive perception is.
15.
12.
12,
14.
13.
13. All right. So Loki and Hrothgar are in a room together, correct?
If it's the same as the boats, then it would be Loki and Ziada. And me and Novakari.
All right.
Guys and gals.
Okay. So here we go. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna roll this. Actually, I'll roll this way. So I'm gonna go. I need 2. I need D20, and then so. Now this, you know what? Hold on. I'm just going to do it this way. Okay. So as you guys are sleeping, Rothgar, what is your AC right now? An 18?
17, I think.
Okay.
17.
As you guys drift off into your slumber, you are suddenly awakened by this sensation of drowning, as if like air is being pulled out of your lungs. And as your eyes start to pop open, you realize that it's not a dream, but that the both of you have 2 dismembered hands, clawed, wrapped in like mummy wrappings, wrapped around your throats, trying to strangle you. And you are both going to take. This is you and Novakri. I need to find a D4. Hold on. Oh my god, come on. My D4s. Okay. You both take 5 points of damage as these hands start to. Actually, is that correct? No, I'm sorry. That's half. Yeah, okay. So you both take 9 points of damage as these hands wrap around your throat and start to strangle the life out of you. It's 11:23. Mark off the damage that has been called. Do you want to pick this up next week, or do you want to figure this out right now?
Who is damaged?
I've got 2 hit points left.
It is
You didn't
Novakri.
heal all the way up as much as you could? Or did you?
We haven't had a full night's
By the
rest
water
yet.
weird.
Yeah, but with the short rest, that's all you could get?
No, she healed up, but she got hit by the water weird, and then didn't
the
heal
water
up.
weird.
Yeah, we didn't take another long rest. Or
Oh, yeah.
short rest.
Okay.
Because we had to
Curious.
get out for...
Rough.
Yeah, so 11:23. Do you guys want to deal with this right now, or do you want to wait until next week? Also, Novakri and Hrothgar, there are 2 dismembered hands wrapped around your throats.
I think I prefer to go ahead and just finish it up tonight. and start fresh next week. But that's up to you guys.
That's fine.
I'm fine. All right. So in that case, I'm gonna. I think this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna give Let's pull up the whatchamacallit, the turn order. Everybody roll initiative, but since the two of you are being choked right now, I'm going to give you a Constitution check on the start of your turn to make a noise that the other two can hear, because otherwise they'd have no idea that this was happening because you're getting choked out right now. So everybody roll your stuff and things, get it on there. I have to add some stuff. Actually, Kevin, is there a way to add, like, if you don't have a creature on a map? You know what? It doesn't. No, never mind. I'm just going to do it this way. Cool. It's super creepy. Like whoever's like clicking right now, it's like it sounds so intense.
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't me. I'm good. Holy shit. Those some good looking rolls.
Oh yeah, I know. I crushed them. I really did. Okay. All right. Everybody else has their stuff and things in there? Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. And descending order. All right. So these creatures got to go first because of the surprise round. It goes to Loki. Loki, unfortunately, on your turn, you are slumbering. You are sleeping. There's nothing you can do on your turn this round because they have not made any sounds. Goes to Rothgar. Rothgar, at the start of your turn, give me a Constitution save, DC 15. If you pass, you can yell. You can make a noise as a free action. You let out like this, like, "Hi, help!" that others could potentially hear. All right, Ziada, give me what is your passive perception?
14.
14. You hear this. You immediately hear like the plaintive cry out of Rothgar, and you're like, "What the fuck?" So what do you want to do on your turn? You just open your eyes. You're laying in your bed. Maybe you're in your armor. Maybe you decided to sleep nude. What are you doing?
I'm gonna be. I'll grab my shield and sword and head out, and I'll try and yell for Loki to see if I can wake him up.
All right, you yell to Loki. You run out. I'm gonna say that you make it to like movement, interactions, etc. You can open your door, you get to the hallway, and you're at their door. However, you're going to have to interact with the door that may slow you down. Maybe that's a move action, whatever. We'll see next round. But basically, you're in the hallway. You hear that yell. You make it out there, but you're not through the door yet. Loki, I'm not going to make you make a check. You hear Ziada be like, "Get the fuck up, shit's happening." And you're like, "What?" All right. So on your turn, you can decide what to do. Novakri, you are... actually, you know what? I'm sorry. I suck. Rothgar, on your turn, you're laying in bed, being strangled. Let's go back to that. You made a con save against this so you could make a yell so people could know. What do you want to do? I assume, are you sleeping with your weapon? Are you sleeping in your armor? Like, what are you doing?
Am I with it enough to have an idea as to what's going on?
So I'm going to say this. You know, and like the way that 5th edition works, there's no like other like you and I both know because we've played several games together in different variants, like different versions. Sleeping in your armor has no penalty, so like you're in your armor, that's fine.
Okay.
Are you sleeping with your weapon? Is it by you, so you need to try to move to get it? That's up for you to decide. I mean, I'm not gonna you can RP this however you want to do it. But what you do know is these two kind of disembodied, like desiccated hands wrapped in bandages and whatnot are wrapped around your throat and are trying to choke the life out of you. So you have two targets on top of you, and they're going to be tough to hit because of like how they're doing this. So if you're going to grab a halberd and you're going to try to hit yourself, you're probably going to swing this with disadvantage. So, like what do you want to do?
Is there any way that I can remove it?
You could roll an athletics check and try to throw one of these off you.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, I just looked at that was as a con save. So yeah, roll an athletics save. Oh Jesus, yeah. So you reach up and you grab one of these things and you feel like that sort of like stumpy end of the bone that's like coming out of the flesh, and your hand kind of like squishes around it, and like all it does is like squirm a little bit more in your throat, and you just rip it off. Kind of like if you've ever had like a tick that hasn't like fully embedded and you reached in and you just rip it out, like that's what it feels like as it comes off. You feel like these like nails kind of scratch against your throat, and you hear somewhere in the back of your head like the laughter of Maud. Now, whether that's actually real or you're just like, psychologically imposing that on yourself, who knows? But you throw that off, but there's still one on your throat. All right, that was your turn, unless you want to try to move, but there's still one stuck on you.
No. That's my turn.
Okay. The next one is the one that was still stuck on you, and so it is going to try and constrict around you, around your.
You skipped Valkyrie.
A little 4.
You skipped me, Tom.
What's the matter?
You skipped me.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. I apologize. So Novakri,
I'm not dead yet.
Hold on.
Well, I'm trying to get there.
I want to get there, but yeah. All right. So Novakri, I'm sorry. So yeah, Novakri, you additionally wake up and I would give you a con save, but like people are on their way. There are these two hands wrapped around your throat. What do you do?
Yeah, the problem that I'm having right now is most of my spells, including my Cure Wounds, require a verbal component. So
this is what I'm going to say, is that where they're wrapped around your throat, if you're going to cast a spell with a verbal component, you have a 50% miss chance. Now, if you want to roll a d4, 1 and 2, if you want to roll a percentile die, like 2d10s, however you want to do that, perfect. But I'm going to say you have a 50% like miss chance to do this because you're like, as it's like choking the air out of you.
Odds and evens. Odds, yes. Evens, no. Nope.
All right.
So I can't get it out.
Like, you go to so was it a cantrip or was it an actual spell?
It was an actual spell.
All right, so mark that off. You have wasted a spell slot. It was canceled for you. Are you going to try to do anything else in your turn?
I guess I can't really do much else. I've already used my actual spells, so.
I will say that like it is worth it potentially to
I'm sorry.
On your next turn, if nothing else changes, to try and like throw one of these off you, kind of thing,
No,
So
I'm sorry. Healing word is a bonus action. I'm sorry. Cool. So action, athletics check.
wait. So no. You tried to cast a spell on your turn. I don't think you can. You can't do an athletics check because that was your action.
No, healing word is a bonus action.
No, I understand now. Okay, so yeah. So with an athletics check, you throw one of these hands off of you. Absolutely. With that 12, you throw one of them off of you. They are not strong at all. And so this hand, like much like Cousin It, just throws across it, starts moving back towards you. All right. Ziada, I'm going to say that we did your turn already. I did not realize that, like, I think I messed up that turn.
Jumping around with me getting woken up. We jumped to me. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's what
All
I
right.
did.
All right, cool. So the one that is still on, the one that is still on, yeah, the one that is still on Rothgar is going to try and squeeze, and it does 2 points of damage to you, Rothgar, as it starts to squeeze stronger on your neck. The next one is going to run back over to you, and I need to find out if it can attack you again. So hold on. And it is unable to do that. The one that is not attached to Novakri right now comes back over and tries to grab you. 18. Does that hit you, Novakri?
Yep.
Okay. So you take 3 points of damage, and then the one that is still on you, you take another 2 points of damage.
Well, I only had 2 hit points, so that's 2 down and 1 failed death save.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You fail. All right. It is Loki's turn. Loki, you kind of like rise out of your bed and you're like, what is going on, man? I don't understand what's happening right now. And you see Ziada like full sword and board running out the door. Like, shit's going down. We got to go do this. What do you do?
You know, same shit as always. Let's we'll get up and we'll follow.
Are you prepping anything at all, or are you just following?
Just following. I didn't hear anything. I'm just like, okay, she's running. Something's happening. I'm gonna follow. Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, it would probably help if I wasn't muted. Sorry about that. All right, so let's go back to the top of the order. Sorry about that, everybody. And it goes, next one is Rothgar. So, Rothgar, you've thrown one of these things off of your throat. It's sort of creeping back to you. Across the room, you kind of are aware that, like, Novakri is like, and, like, just sort of gasp for last breath and drop down. There's still one on you. What are you doing?
And there's 2 on Novakri.
There's 2 on Novakri, 1 on you, one that's like creeping back towards you right now.
I'm gonna attempt to pull the one that's on me off, so that way I can try to.
So
the ones that are on her.
You can do that, but I would say that, like, if you attack, you have more actions. Like, the athletics check to pull it off of you is going to be your action, but if you attack, where you're a fighter, you have the ability to do more than one thing. So you could potentially do more that way. I mean, if you want to let people die, I mean, that's fine. But, like, I'm trying to be nice here.
Fine. I will attack. Is it possible to attack one of the ones on Novakri?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Without hitting Novakri?
Yes.
All right, so that's what I'm going to do then.
All right. Roll to hit. That is a hit. And with 14 points of damage, you cut one of these these morbid mummified gross like zombie hands in half, and it just falls to, like it kind of rots as it hits the ground. What else do you do?
Well, I'm gonna do the butt strike on the other one.
Doing the butt. Doing the butt. A 7 is not enough, and so as you cleave through the first one and it drops, you turn around and you strike out with the butt end of your weapon, and it just like the hand like kind of like dodges and it goes right by, and it just continues to squeeze the life out of Navakri. Do you want to do anything else in your turn?
Is there anything I can do to dislodge it?
Do you have like any additional bonus actions or attacks or anything like that?
I don't think so.
Then no. Then unfortunately, no.
Well, that answers your question. There's nothing I can do.
All right. Well, hey, listen. I love you too. Next, Novakri. Novakri, one of the strangulation hands around your neck has been cleaved off. The other one continues to constrict. You are at 0 health. You need to make a death saving throw. That is 1 save. You have 1 bad, 1 good. That is a great turn. It goes to Ziada. Ziada, you hear a scuffle behind the wooden door in front of you in the tavern known as the White Lady Inn. What are you doing?
I'm going to try and open the door.
No, you're not. You're going to fucking kick that shit down. You know you are.
Oh, well, yeah. In that nice fashion, because it's time to get in there, because
it's time to get real. Yep.
Yeah, so because I'm probably gonna have to break it down anyway. I assume it's locked. So
well, yeah. I mean, the ladies, and by ladies I mean the lady and Hrothgar. So yeah. I mean, give me an athletics check.
Come on, I can't see it. Unfortunately.
Oh shit! You throw your foot against the door, and the door like just batters against you, and it doesn't fucking open. Like, do you have anything else you can do? Do you have a bonus action? Like, what else do you have?
I have, if I could make like I mean, I've got a bonus action that I could try and smash the thing with my shield, but I mean, that's a stretch on what we're trying to call it.
I would allow it. I would allow it.
All right.
I would actually laugh my ass off if Loki comes in and just turns the knob and opens the door.
No, I'm gonna say that the door's locked, just like
I have a sword and a shield, so I mean, I was actually just trying to turn the knob with my foot. I just with these boots that I have on. They're not very dexterous, ironically.
I have these elven doorknob toes. Yes. So athletics check. You couldn't break through, but if you want to try to smash through, go ahead.
All right. So what would I make? Because that would be like a push or a shove sort of thing, and that would be.
I'll give you 2 options. You can either attack the door, or you can roll another athletics. Up to you.
Let's try and see. I think they're basically the same thing. So let's throw out the athletics. Don't be a 1. It's not much higher.
Without a doubt, you come in with the shield and just bash open the door. I will give you, if you have a bonus action you can do that you want to do as you open the door and you see Novakri like being strangled by one of this disembodied hand. You see Hrothgar like holding a bloodied weapon that has clearly killed something in this room, but another one of these hands is choking him. And you see another one of these hands like coming across the room. If you have an additional bonus action, I will give it to you. What do you want to do?
Let's see. Can this? Oh, I have to click on it. Is that only one?
Muted.
I mean, the only thing...
Oh yeah, you are definitely muted, Kevin.
Yeah, so I was looking at my stuff. The only thing that I can look to do right now is maybe, I guess, Shield of Faith.
I don't know what it does, but what I will say is this, is that Novakri is making death saving throws. Just saying.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have any way to heal right now because the only stuff that I have is my lay on hands, which is an action. So unfortunately, next turn, I got you, if you make it there. Because I didn't make it here.
No worries,
very quickly.
guys. No worries.
All right. So that is Yada's turn. It goes to the one that is still attached to Rothgar. Rothgar, you are going to take 2 points of damage. The one that is not attached to you is gonna try to attack you again and miss. So it's just sort of like And then the one that is on Novakri, it squeezes your throat again and deals another point of another failed save to you. Holy shit!
Hey, if Novakri dies, that's fine.
It goes to Loki. I like your cavalier attitude to this, but you know what? Like I just imagine that like your other self, like Novakri's other self, is like, "Fuck you, no, ma'am. We gotta live. We gotta fucking live." So it is. It's Loki's turn. Loki, what are you doing? Are you just like, "No, I got an owl, man. I'm going back to bed."
Casually walk into the room and be like, "Oh, this is the commotion," and yeah, I don't know what I can do to save Novakri.
You could try to kill the thing that's killing her. I mean, there's that.
I mean, I could try. I feel like I would hurt Novakri in the process. Alright, let's try to snipe these things off. There's 2 on her, right? Or just one?
Just the one. Just the one.
Alright, in that case, I will do magic missiles.
All right. Roll. You don't need to roll a hit. What's the damage? 4. And you blast this thing into some sort of necrotic dust as it blows off of her. Is there anything else you want to do on your turn?
Oh, like it died off of the first one? Like the first...
It literally blew apart. Yep, it blew apart.
Did you multiply that or no? That was just...
No.
Oh,
It just...
nice.
There are 3 bolts.
Nice. Yeah, that's...
Yeah. Wait. So I see 4 force. So how many?
Yeah, that's off of 1 hit.
Oh yeah. So yeah, in that case,
There's 2 more.
Well, no. When you start the spell, you have to call out who it's going to. You can't do it after the effect.
So the other 2 blow through my windpipe.
The other 2 murder Novakri immediately.
Alright, whatever. Then that's...
No. I'm not trying to be a jerk about it, but like the rules for magic missile are like you have to call out at the start of magic missile where it's going. You can't like destroy something and be like, "Oh, I send the other 2 that way." You have to call it at the start. So
what does it say that makes you think that? I'm just curious.
It says you. I may be wrong, but it says that like you have to target something, and that target
you have to do that anyway with like spells, you know. I'm just thinking because like the wording at myself as a DM, it's like how is the wording based so that you know Because
Well,
usually
no,
the spell
so here's the
itself
yeah.
spells
I
exactly
could,
out what you need to do step by step.
so the two things I would say with this is, first of all, Kevin, I fucking hate it when you ask questions like this because I don't know if you're like on my side or if you're being a dick. That's one. And then the second
Why
is,
put it like
and
that?
that wait, no, and I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm like, that's just me with like my whole weird like OCD negativity, whatever.
No, that's
But
fine. I
like
do it
the,
intentional. So
yeah, no,
I'm glad
thanks.
you
I hate
noticed.
you, but I love you. I hate you, kind of thing. But anyways, but no, like here's the thing. Like if you had like 5 magic missiles, and you say I send 3 at this one, and I send 2 at this one, and the first like let's say it only had 4 hit points left, and you roll the first one, and you roll like a D4 plus 1, and it's 5, and you destroy the first one, you can't redirect it. Like that's always been the way magic missiles always been. So like you got to call it out at the start. And like even in like other variants, it's always you have to say I'm going to do this and this. And there's like if there's multiple opponents and you're going to flick them with the magic missile or force attack or whatever it is, you got to say this and this. Like that's what it's going to be. Like I'm not trying to be a dick
No,
with it.
no,
But
I'm fine with that because Mike threw it on, and it's like the darts all strike simultaneously. So I'm cool with that, where it's like you have to make that call because they're all going to hit at the same time. That's fine. I was just curious.
Like yeah, like if you had a spell that was similar to that, like I think in 5th edition there is another spell that's similar to this, but it's a roll to hit. You got to call out where it goes. So like let's say you're throwing like like ninja stars or like shurikens or whatever. I can't believe I can't even say the word, but whatever. Like, and you have thank you, but you have like 4 of them. You'd have to say like I'm rolling to hit with 4 of them, but 2 are going here, one's going here, one's going here. And then if you hit, then you roll damage, and then like 2 hit this one hit this. You only have to roll once for the damage kind of thing. But with magic missile, where there is no roll to hit, you have to call at the beginning of it where it's going. You can't just be like, oh, I killed this. All right, the rest is going here. That's it. So.
Okay.
But anyways, on the plus side, TJ, you have murdered the only other strangulation thing that was on Novakri. So, is there anything else you want to do on your turn?
Oh, my missiles just disappear.
Turns into like awesome fireworks. Like her eyes start to flutter and open up. It's like, and like at the last minute,
They actually hit Novakri because
well,
that was where the
was
target was.
I was thinking
So
that the fireworks
she's
kind of
dead.
said like,
I'm
you
sorry, Novakri,
owe
I tried.
Loki a lot. I like to think that like your fireworks are like you owe me, not I owe you, but like you owe me kind of thing. But all right, Rothgar, it's your turn. On your turn, there is something strangling around your neck. There's another thing that's like sort of like chomping at your ankles, and by chomping I mean trying to grab you and crawl up your body and stab you. What do you want to do?
As like a bonus action, is it possible to just step on it?
Well, I would say you could try. You could just straight up attack it. Like it's not fucking with you enough that you can't just attack it. So you could straight up attack it.
Well, I wanted to kind of step on it and keep it in place while I pull the other one off.
What I'm saying is, you could attack it and then butt strike the other one because you are a
Okay.
polearm master. All right, so I'm sorry. I was just reading what Novakri put in there. Novakri, I agree with what you just put in 100%, but you got to call that when you do it. You can't do it after the fact. As far as Rothgar goes, Rothgar, that first strike, you end up like just cleaving the hand that is at your feet apart, and it blows apart. And then the butt strike coming back at your throat, you also blow that one into obliteration. And as you do that, I'm just going to do this. Boop. And boop. You hear just like that same chilling, like, again, sometime. Laughter of Maud. And what you all notice, or what I'll just tell you at this point, is that the chest of gold that you brought back was full of 600 gold pieces. However, it was also full of 4 crawling claws that whoever touched the gold first, or whoever fell asleep next to the gold first, would be afflicted by. So there was that.
We had noticed.
However, despite the fact that it almost worked, I didn't murder any of you with that. There was a little part of me that had hoped that, like, Loki was going to be like, I'll steal this and do something with it, and then, like, murder because of the claws. But nope, didn't happen. So you guys are good.
I'll definitely make sure to go and heal up Novakri before, that last death save.
I made the last.
Well. I mean, even still, you guys are going to get a full night's rest. You are in an inn. You're getting a full night's rest. When you come back tomorrow, you guys are all set. It just so happened that there was a series of unfortunate events that occurred. So, good stuff. Good stuff.
Does that mean we can start calling you Lemony Snickets?
Listen, as the DM, it is my job to always give you a series of unfortunate events. But for right now, I only have fortunate ones for you, which is you have a chest of 600 additional gold that you can figure out what you want to do with. East Haven is in your favor, and you are owed some payment one way or another by the town constabulary that we can pick up with next week, and you have a lot of random things that you can do right now. I mean, you have a pot that feeds lots of people. You have some pretty cool magic items, and you have a lot of weird quest things that you can think of. So I'll do this. Let's call it a quit for tonight. If you guys have questions, email me during the week, or just Discord me, or whatever. And if there's a specific thing that you want to do, and you as a group want to do it, discuss it, and then we'll do that when we get back together next week. All right?
Cool deal.
All right.
Later.
Cool.
Thank you much, sir.
And wait, I have a quick question, just because I want to keep everybody legit with this. Despite dragging the cauldron out, Kevin, did you drag the giant axe out, or did you leave it there?
Yeah, so we had talked about that, so I figured that was like a given. Whether or not that goes to me or whichever.
No. It was one of those things where when you never said it, I'm like, did I just waste my breath with that? Like, did he?
No,
he was like, I don't want to.
That's what set me off to probably not say something. So.
Okay, cool. No. That's cool.
But yeah, cool. we had talked about that for that reason. But yeah, so I had that, and it's like, yep. So.
All right, cool. I was just double checking, because I'm like, if you never told me you brought that with you, and then you all of a sudden, like 10 episodes down, you're like, I've got this thing, I'd be like, nope, no. That's why I was checking in. That's all.
Yeah, cool. Well, thanks, Tom.
Yeah, no, thank you guys, everybody. I know that the crawling claws, because that's what they were a less than stellar surprise. But I really thought that you guys would deal with them when you were awake on the boat, and you just never did. You just never did. So it was fun. But all right, everybody, we'll see you all next week. Hopefully, if everybody can do it, and we'll go from there. All right.
Cool deal.
Alrighty, sounds like a plan.
Have a good one.
Later.
Later.
Later.